We're here now with Nick Sakhnovsky. He's a school board candidate for District Number 8, which is at large, elected countywide. And welcome to you, Nick.
Thanks, Frank.
Let's see now. You've been with the educational system a long time, about 35 or more years. You were a teacher aide. You started as a bus driver. And now you're with the Broward County Library and the African American Library.
Yes,
is that correct? So, but in between that, you do a lot of things connected with education, so we honor you for that. Why are you seeking election as a Broward School Board member?
Well, for the last 8 years, since my son actually became a student in the Broward County school system at kindergarten, I've been a volunteer in the classroom in addition to my professional work.
Yeah.
And I've been a PTA president, a PTSA president, school advisory chair, and for 6 years I was on the facilities task force, which is an advisory body to the Broward County School District. And the last 2 years, which have been significant years in terms of the crises that we have uncovered in the construction area in this county, I've been the chair. And we've made dozens of recommendations, frankly, to the school district on fixing the problem, including last fall, the Sun Sentinel published an op-ed piece, which I wrote. And unfortunately, the board has not adopted any of these reforms at this time. And I think it's essential that we have the kind of leadership that will focus on the mission of the school district, which is the classroom experience, the teachable moments. And unfortunately, we've gotten, especially in the last 4 years, completely derailed from focusing on where the needs are. We have lots of good qualities here in the school district, but the focus has to return to the quality education for each and every school child.
That's true. What's the most pressing challenge, as you see it, Nick, facing the 6th largest school district here in our country, and is it being handled to your satisfaction?
Well, a number of people will say, well, the budget is the biggest challenge, but the root of that challenge is actually in Tallahassee, because in the last 4 years, the failure of leadership has resulted in we've gone from 2/3 state-funded to 2/3 locally funded. And we, in the same time, we've seen a decline in our property values, and there's a real crisis. Even now, with the tightening budget, there are proposals to raise our taxes here in Broward. The leadership, frankly, has not lived up to the quality of the students and the parents and the taxpayers in this county. And before we can start asking for tax increases and wailing and moaning about the budget, we have to start fixing the problem. And frankly, we need new blood to do that.
You know, you alluded to this a moment ago, but the classroom is where it begins and ends. It's the student and the teacher. Someone said, which I like, that the student today is the classroom. We have to look at it from that individual. Yeah. Are we educating our young people, from your point of view, Nick, to be able to compete in this global society? And if not, what's the remedy?
Well, the fact of the matter is that it's uneven. And we can't just look at FCAT scores and school grades, because what happens is it's individual. This is where relationship building, to build a total team approach between parent, teacher, administrator, is going to solve the problem. I've been an educator a long time. I'm not talking through my hat here. But what's happened is we've created a system that's so large and so dependent on the rules and the regulations that, frankly, teachers are struggling to be able to create those teachable moments. Our job, and I'm focusing on the mission here of the school board, is to create the environment that enables that success to happen, because we can't do it by ourselves. And unfortunately, the nature of the system is it focuses on the people in power and the people who have the relationships at the top, when we have to kind of, frankly, jump over that as school board members and focus on what's happening in the classroom. That's the solution.
Good. Now, if you're elected on August 24th, what's your focus for the next 4 years, Nick?
Well, as the person who has to run interference for the frontline people, we have to start focusing on fixing Tallahassee, because Tallahassee's created, frankly, a noose for the local, particularly Broward, which is what's called a donor district, that we can't frankly make ends meet under the current situation. We've lost 30,000 students from the school system proper in the last 4 years, yet we haven't made any adjustments in terms of state legislation or our actual costs of doing business locally to fix that. It's a problem, but even the superintendent says it's a crisis.
It is a crisis. Take a moment now, look into the camera, Nick, and tell the voters why they should elect you to the Broward School Board District 8 at large on August 24th. 30 seconds. Go right ahead.
Hi, I'm Nick Sakhnovsky. I'd like you to pick Nick on August 24th, or more importantly, please call the Supervisor of Elections at 954 888-357-7055 and ask for a ballot by mail. And when you do that, look at nick2010.com and you'll find out more about me. I have leadership skills. I can do the best for this district.
Thank you very much. We've been talking to Nick Sakhnovsky. He's a candidate for School Board District number 8 at large, elected countywide on August 24th. Thank you very much, Nick.
Thank you, Frank.